everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, Gryfflet one still, who tells me he does not really particularly enjoying his time in Lingris so far, but it's early days. Maybe things will get brighter and more cheerful. It's rather a grim scene here right now, as Gryfflet prepares to spend an unknown amount of time hunting and fighting spiders in Lingris, as we are now 40% of the way through the Mordor content. He's done all of Udun. He's done all of Doromarth. We're now moving into Lingris, and then Talathurui, and which is kind of the big section, and then Agornaith, which is small. So I think he's getting there. Making some progress here. First of all, before we begin, when I logged in, I had this thing pop up. This allegiances window, which told me I'm trying to understand what's going on here. There's something new I'm supposed to do? The four hobbits have been through a great deal on their journey, right? Yeah. Okay, no, I already found them just inside the Black Gate, Merry and Pippin. So, I'm supposed to claim... There's a claim! Exclamation point button here. And it says Chapter 2, Furtive Foray. Chapter 2 is... So, what happened? What do I do? I claimed it, and I get tokens of service. You have acquired Chapter 2. Okay. What does that mean? Is it now my quest log or something? I don't see it. Special? No. Okay. So the alliances thing still kind of confuses me, as you can tell. I'm confused. Oh, sorry, hang on a second. I just realized, here I am asking for your help, and I'm looking over and I realize I don't have the chat window open. Let me open the chat window to hear what you guys have to tell me about this. Because, so I really liked the opening of, from what I saw in the one thing I did with the Hobbit, with the Shire Allegiance, it's like a whole... it seems, it begins at the start of Mordor, right? After the Black Gate. So it seems to be like a really fun opportunity to be involved in after stories, while you're in the midst of Mordor, where things are relatively gloomy and depressing, to get the chance to come back into the rest of the lands and with the other characters and sort of pursue some follow-up stuff, which is cool. Okay. It says it means claim all the ones that are active or I'll tell you again next time. Okay. So I have to hit them all? I thought I just chose the one at a time. But now I'm being pressured. Oh, no, wait, this is just the Hobbits one. What? Okay. Alright, I'll just click buttons, I guess. Alright. I've acquired tokens of service. Why? I don't really know what those are. I assume they can be bartered for something or other. So, A, I don't know what they are. B, I don't know why I've gotten them. C, why are they numbered and in columns at all? I don't understand. Because I'm leveling up within that allegiance, and I get rewards for each level. Okay. Right. Deed completed. Oh, it's a reputation thing. Okay, a little pet peeve about the deed tracker. It tells me a deed was completed, but it doesn't tell me which deed was completed. Can I get an equivalent of the, when you go in your inventory and the new things are sparkly highlighted? Can I get the equivalent on the deeds? So among these deeds, is one that apparently... Okay. Alright. Well, so what happens here? The chapter 2? Edith says because Lotro loves horizontal scrolling for some reason. Yeah, I don't understand. Okay, so the chapter 2 here. Do I go back and find them at the same place? All right. Well, first of all, I'm not going anywhere until I find there's a milestone to be able to get back here conveniently. Without having to schlep all the way across by horseback. Okay, so the Black Gate is the sequential quest hub. Okay. See, I would have thought I'd get to go, like, see them in their house to pick up the story where we left off, but it's fine. I can get behind it. All right, there's Atli Spiderbane waiting very patiently. He's like, I wouldn't kill any spiders in a week. He's like going through withdrawal, so I guess we'll go do that. Here we are at the extreme northern end of the Valley of Hlingris, the valley that Frodo and Sam walked through and on which they were intercepted by the orcs, with whom they marched for a while. Wait, I can wait until I've claimed all the levels of that allegiance and then not have the story broken up. Wait a second, Edith. So I don't have to do chapter 2 in order in order for chapter 3 to be bestowed upon me? So if I just don't do anything for a while, I can wait until all of them have piled up and then I can do them all at once? That's way better. So if I just ignore it for now, that's what I should do. I should just ignore it for now, and then over the course of the Mordor sequence, they'll pile up. How many chapters are there anyway? Is this 2 out of like 6, or is this 2 out of like 14 or 27, or like what's the scale here? I don't even understand. Anyway, all right. Gryfflet is gonna start killing spiders. However, while I do that, really interesting question from, let's see, where was it? I've lost it already. The My Mount Doom question. Yeah. This is from Tomas. This was a while back, but I missed it. And today, actually, this gloomy day in Hlingris seems a good day to address this question. Was Mount Doom supposed to disappear also, as shown in the movies, when the One Ring was destroyed? If so, why is Mordor still in the dark? The latter part is the coolest part. Edith says there's 7 or 8-ish. Okay, all right. So I'm not near the beginning of a enormously. It's so odd to me. Sorry, I'm just looking at my text over here. Hobbits of the Company, completed Hobbits of the Company, Allegiance level 6. How? What? I didn't do anything. It was an accident, I tell you. Anyhow, okay. So, does Mount Doom disappear? So, part 1 of the question. Does Mount Doom sort of go away in the book as it does in the film? And the answer is no. It erupts, but it's not like it's obliterated utterly. Hey, Spider Slayer and Hlingris. Who'd have known? This looks like that might possibly be a Slayer deed I'll accidentally fulfill. Okay. Oh, the little spiderlings count? Oh, that's practically cheating. Oh, dear. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Anytime you can do, bulk bulk progress on these kinds of little Slayer quests. Okay. Okay, there are 7 chapters to each. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Look at that. 8 spiders in already. And Athlete's not even helping? Well, you know. Okay. Mount Doom. So Mount Doom, like, sort of erupts, but it doesn't, like, blow away. But Tomas's follow-up question is a really good one. As far as, you know, like, the game adaptation is concerned. Why is it still so dark in Mordor? When the dark, you know, like the dawnless day shroud, you know, that covers Gondor is generated by Mount Doom. So, of course, in the book, Tolkien doesn't sort of have to deal with this as much. Like, the dawnless day thing has already dispersed. And the mountain, again, it doesn't, like, blow up and cease to be a mountain, nor does it totally cease to be a volcano, so far as we know. But Tolkien doesn't show much interest in, like, describing what happens. Like, Barad-dûr falls. That's the important thing. The ring is destroyed, and Barad-dûr falls. It's kind of an interesting thing, because he describes Samath Naur, the Crux of Doom, as the center of Sauron's power. And yet, like, that's not what collapses. What is it that collapses? When his power is destroyed, when the ring goes into the fire, what does Tolkien emphasize is undone? And it's not like, the power of the Samath Naur was broken, and therefore Orodruin, you know, is blasted to flinders. But rather, it's the foundations of Barad-dûr, which are destroyed, right? Because they were made with the power of the ring, and the ring is gone. Samath Naur is the center of Sauron's power, the place where all other powers are suppressed, which is why the File of Galadriel doesn't work there, remember. So it's, as I say, it's the center of his power, but he doesn't, it's the center of his power because that's where he performed his actions. He's not up here anymore? Dr. Atlee Spider-Man at the approach to Cirith Ungol. All the way down there? Oh, so the epic quest is just like kill 12 spiders, then go meet him all the way at the bottom. Right, so we're imagining, the quest is imagining, Atlee Spider-Man is imagining that he's just set us on a delightful spider slaying spree down the length of the Valley of Lingris, and we're going to really enjoy that. Okay, gotcha. Oh, hey, Lunori. Yeah, all right. Anyway, the Samath Naur is not a place made by the power of the ring. So, what I'm getting at is that it makes a lot of sense to me that the volcano itself would not be obliterated as a natural consequence of the destruction of the ring. Rather, if anything, the volcano itself would be freed, essentially. That what he did. So what am I doing for Legolas? I'm examining slain orcs. That's right. What Sauron did at the Samath Naur was sort of sanctify it to himself. Let's think of another parallel. Think about Saruman, right? Saruman has made Orthanc, the center of his power, his stronghold. But he didn't make it, right? He didn't build Orthanc, and in a sense, he doesn't really control it. He's taken it over. He's taken it over, and he's, it like as a place. Within Tolkien's world, we can see frequently places get infected, especially with evil. We've had this conversation before at various points in Lotro, talking about desolations, right? How common it is when an evil person or thing, something actively evil, making actively evil choices, moves into a place, it tends to create desolation, like the land withers and dies around it. Famously, of course, with the desolation of Smaug. But we see the same pattern in Isengard as well. And of course, like the slag pits of Mordor and all that sort of thing. So anyway, yeah, so that's a clear trend in Tolkien, but I think that it could be extended. That is to say, that's really just a subset of the larger pattern, which is that all powerful things, everyone who has power, who has authority, tend to infect. I use the word infect here, meaning like it could be a good infection or a bad infection. They tend to influence, let me say more neutrally, the land around them, right? So, because I mean, look at Lothlorien, right? Lothlorien is a good infection. Look at Rivendell, right? That's a good infection. Now, both of those are seem to be influenced by the power of the Elven Rings, of course. Oops. Okay. What's happening to me? Okay. Both of those are, but still, like, that's just hastening the infection, or, it's just a method of increasing that influence that they are having on the land around them, which again is a benevolent influence. And I bet you that if Saruman had not turned to evil, Isengard would have been like, maybe it used to be. Like Rivendell, like, not the same, because he doesn't have one of the Elven Rings, but it would have been sort of like that. I bet you Ross Gobel's kind of nice, actually, We never get to see it, but I bet you that Ross Gobel, of course, is where Radagast lives in Mirkwood. I bet he's influenced the area around him. Yes, JJ, that's a really great reference. Holland, right? JJ's quoting Gandalf's remark, much evil must befall a country before it wholly forgets the elves if once they dwelt there. Yeah, it's exactly the kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway, so there's the people have an impact on the place where they are. And of course, one can say that the Shire is influenced by the Hobbits, especially when augmented by the power of oh wait, there's an uneaten orc that I missed? Okay, hang on, sorry. Augmented by the power of Galadriel, right, through her gift to Sam. But anyway, yeah, she helps, but it's Sam's actions, right? And the actions of all of the rest of the hobbits described in the last chapter of The Lord of the Rings that helps to continue to influence the Shire in a positive way. So anyhow, like that, this is a trend. Like, this is a thing that happens. We can see it all over the place in The Lord of the Rings. When there's a place where someone who's powerful is exerting their power, Orthanc for Saruman, Lothlorien for Galadriel, Rivendell for Elrond, Sammath Naur for Sauron. I think that what we're seeing in the Sammath Naur, the heart of Sauron's realm, where all other powers are suppressed, is an extreme version of that infection, essentially. It's the center of the infection of Mordor. All of the, like, the outskirts and the dead marshes, like everything, all the horrible things around those are side effects. Those are like external, outside, the outer ripples of his influence on the land around him. The Sammath Naur is the heart of it. And it remembers that the land, the place, the mountain remembers in this, if you understand what I mean by that, the power that was exerted there. So I think that when the ring is destroyed, nothing changes about. Again, it's not like the foundations of Barad-dûr, which were built with the power of the ring and are therefore destroyed and the tower crumbles. It's not like that. It is the center of his infection in Mordor. And so again, I think if anything, Sammath Naur is cleansed. Or at least, it's not going to be made as if Sauron never was. Everything sad isn't going to come untrue. Mordor is not, in fact, transformed into a garden with like a wash of golden light, right, as soon as the ring is destroyed. That's not how things work. No, I mean, like in the real world, that's not how things work. Suffering is real. Loss is real and permanent. But Sammath Naur is, and I think so. Mount Doom, the volcano, is set free, essentially. So it's not destroyed because it's not. I guess it's not completely obliterated. I think because it's not built by Sauron's power. It's dominated by Sauron's power. Anyway, so that's why it makes perfect sense to me. Again, Tolkien doesn't talk about what happens in Mount Doom afterwards very much. I can't think of any references to him talking about that. But I think it makes most sense to me that it would now carry on being a happy, cheerful, newly liberated volcano, free to do its volcanic thing without, being made to be complicit in the domination of the world anymore. All mountain, less doom in the aftermath. Sorry, I'm getting all distracted from my quest. This orc was slain by arrows, and a shield of Udun rests beside him. A shield of Udun? Oh, I see. Well, that's rests on top of him, but that's fine. Shield of Udun, like a shield bearing the Udun banner. A web-covered page! All right. Our third set of pages. Oh, no. Weird. I didn't get the audio. Just realized I'm not getting game audio, and I don't know why. I didn't hear the voiceover. I did find the rest of the Dora Marth pages, Edith. It was a great triumph with much help last week. Yep, that was awesome. Finding the last page was the last thing I did in Doromarth. This happens to me sometimes. I just don't hear the game sounds. Oh yeah, a torn page of a tome, sticky and covered in webs from Shelob's brood. Perhaps I can find the other 19 pages. Challenge accepted.
Sauron the Great has granted me his blessing.
Oh, I got it now.
I am Gurzyur. By his blade, I now take the name Rukor the Pale Herald.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Yeah, okay. I figured out I'm getting the game sounds now. I think I fixed it. Just in time to hear that remarkable reading of page... That was page 1. Look, I'm finding them in order. Oh, it's a good omen for the web... what is it? The webby pages? What are they called? Web-covered pages. Anyway. Sticky pages. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Okay. What am I doing? I'm talking to Legolas about the Udun shield and such. Yeah. Alright. Let's go do that. Hey, Legolas, this guy had a shield from Udun resting on him, and as a consequence, perhaps, he was uneaten by spiders. By the way, hang on a second. So before I come, remind me to talk about the Shelob thing and Lotra's adaptation. I've been thinking about this in preparation for our foray into Lingers here today. And I have some reflections I wanted to share with you. But first, let's hear what Legolas has to say.
The jagged peaks of Hlingris are steeped in fear and evil.
It seems that the orcs have begun to fight amongst themselves, but I wonder why orcs of Udun and of Durthang would flee into this land. To flee into a land beset by hungering foes with allegiance to none, it is unwise, to say the least. I agree. The orcs have acted rashly in so doing.
Steeped in fear and evil.
This is troubling, Gryfflet one. What could have driven some of the orcs from Durthang? I kind of like being Gryfflet 1. It makes me feel like a TIE fighter pilot. If it were merely the spiders of Lingris, Ugrukor would have sealed the gate and thought no more of it. No, it had to be something unexpected. But what? Gryfflet 1, patrol the road to the gate of Durthang and learn what you can of what has happened. I think there is more to this than it seems. Go swiftly. I shall keep watch on the road. Okay. Excellent. Well, I was hoping to go explore the southern approach to Durthang. Yeah, exactly. I'm now the captain of the Gryfflet squadron. What's not to love about that? Right? Yeah, and I'm gonna fix it eventually. It's my fault. I'm just I haven't got around to it. Someday I'll get around to it. Oh, hey, I'm not going the wrong way. How about that? This is the approach to Durthang. Okay, excellent. You're right. I guess I'm not Gryfflet leader. I'm Gryfflet 1. Yeah. But see, that's exactly what it makes me feel like, Luanori. Gryfflet 1 to Gryfflet leader. I'm beginning my attack run. It's fun. Do it now? Oh, hang on. Let's see. Gryfflet. That I want to change. Did I spell it right? Yeah, I think I did. Woohoo! Okay. There we go. Thank you, Cordovan. Appreciate it. Okay, here we go. It was fun being a Gryfflet squadron for a short amount of time, though. It's all good. Okay. Anyway, let me first finish answering the Mount Doom question. Now, because Lotro is making the choice, right, to have the sky still look like this. And on the one hand, it would be a little bit cool to be walking around Mordor in the bright sunshine. Like that would be kind of fun in an early Fourth Age kind of like, it's like, you know, hashtag Fourth Age experience, right? Walking around Mordor in the sunshine. But of course it would be hard. There are practical difficulties with this. Practical, I mean, in Middle-earth terms, because then, like, the orcs would be highly discomfited, which would be good for the good guys, but less obviously good for gameplay. And of course, trolls would find it even more inconvenient, obviously. Many of them, at least. So yeah, I can understand why they didn't want to do that. I mean, could you imagine the outrage from some people if Lotro had depicted orcs and trolls running about in the sunlight, right? That would be bad. So they want orcs and trolls to be able to be running around so that we can be involved in this, you know, the sort of infiltration role, right, that we have been placed in, that we've been discussing. What are we doing here? Chittering in the dark. Oh, good. As you feared, many spiders have come to the gates of Durthang. If they are able to breach the fortress, it is likely their numbers shall spill forth into Udun and threaten the forces of the free peoples in Mordor. 'Cause we're the advanced scouts now. In Udun, I was just confused. Here, I feel better. From this perspective, now I can imagine that Aragorn's forces are, like, behind us, right? And we're, like, the advanced squad, which is cool. So I'm just meant to kill a whole bunch more spiders. Okay, fine. Not a shocking quest to receive here. But I'm patrolling. Oh dear, I hate patrolling. It means I've got to find particular spots in the ground, but yeah, so anyway, I'm talking about the adaptation challenge that they have, but I think that actually there's a more profound one, or rather they have to sort of choose, right? On the one hand, so they, you know, Lotro has oh, look at this, I attracted a whole fan club here. Lotro has a choice between the two, like they could give us as players one of two experiences, right? They could either give us the fun Fourth Age experience of getting to see Mordor in the sunlight, right? Imaginatively beginning that process of, you know, thinking about a liberated, like a liberated land and the cleansing of the eventual cleansing of Mordor, though it won't happen overnight. Hang on, this is a new quest. As you explore the gates of Durthang and Lingris, you notice that the inhabitants of Durthang have begun to burn their dead as a means to repel the attacking spiders. You should burn the slain orcs near Durthang and repel the spiders that have come to the northern reaches of Lingris. Okay. I don't know. Burn slain orcs. Can do. How many of them am I meant to burn? 8. Okay. Right. So that's one thing they could have done. They could have given us, like, sunny Mordor, and that would have been cool. That would have been fun. However, had they done that, the consequences would be that we never really got to experience Mordor, like not to have, like, the real Mordor experience. And that is, you know, the shadow, the starkness, the dark, you know, like the little view that Gryfflet had at the beginning of today's stream, right? Black stone, blasted landscape, dark sky, you know, glowing with the fires of Orodruin underneath. Like that's... So yes, either they give us something like the authentic Mordor experience. What is this quest ring floating over? Is that the spot on the ground I'm supposed to walk on? No. I think it's hovering over the body of this slain orc. Is he special? No. It's like their little fallen halos. Anyway, so those are the two choices that Lotro is making, right? And what can I do with a campsite fire? Nothing, because I'm not a hunter. And I think it seems to me fairly plain, or rather, it fits in pretty clearly with the whole pattern of the entire game, why they made the choice that they did. I think it's like, I mean, it's novel and fun to imagine them giving us sunny Mordor. Like there's a lot of me that really likes that as an idea. However, throughout, remember the thing that we've seen again and again. What are they attempting to do in this game, right? One of the fundamental experiences of Lotro is to experience the Lord of the Rings, right? To enjoy this gameplay where we get to be inside, not just inside Middle-earth, but inside the Lord of the Rings specifically, right? I say the Lord of the Rings specifically, I mean like the story of the Lord of the Rings, and therefore the atmosphere of the Lord of the Rings. And Frodo and Sam's journey, their dark, grim, oppressive journey into Mordor is an important segment of that story in the Lord of the Rings. And if we never saw Mordor until it was bright, sunny, and post-apocalyptic in the nicest possible way, then it would have been, it wouldn't have been the same. We would never have gotten a chance to experience Mordor as Frodo and Sam saw it. And therefore, we would have lost one of the experiences that the game is determined to give us to help us to experience all of the things from the Lord of the Rings, right? Anyway, that's... So it's very understandable to me that they would make the choice that they did. And I totally defend it. I think it makes all sorts of sense. And once you've made that choice, explaining it is easy enough, right? I mean, Orodruin did erupt, so it could be spewing ash for a long time, right? Why not? And therefore, the air above Mordor itself would still be shrouded with ash, and ash still be falling for some time. Can believe it, right? Okay, great. I've defeated a bunch of spiders. You have burned many of the slain orcs at the gates of Durthang. The glow of the flames did well to repel some of the spiders of Lingris, but it is likely that once the fires die out, the spiders will return in force. Okay. You have discovered the terrible aftermath of a battle between the warriors of Durthang and the spiders of Lingris. Well, there are 3 bodies and a dying orc. But I'm sure the battle was very terrible. Come to gloat, have you? Well, you won't have long. The orc coughs hard and dark blood runs from his mouth. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, can I get a mithril ring? Oh, it's might-based. Come on. Fine, I'll take the silver ring. Fake silver rather than true silver, I guess. No, not long at all. That little sneak, the Silent One, he betrayed us. We were holding against the spiders until he showed up, and some help he was. The Silent One killed my orcs with arrows, and took some of them before the spiders got to them. Maybe the little rat is bringing them to Shelob, or maybe he's eating them himself. I won't beg, but if you find him, kill him. If he finds you, well, now shove off and let me die in peace. Okay, the Silent One, huh? Who's that? One of the Gryfflet, was he? Oh, wait, there's a page? Did I miss the page? See, I get all distracted. Is there a page up here? Yeah! Web-covered page right there! My goodness!
Indeed, woe be the day when Shelob's hunger grows too great. For when at last she comes before Lord Sauron, he shall destroy her utterly.
Sauron will destroy Shelob utterly? Well, I mean, he could. But he didn't wanna. She was his cat. Okay. So, oh, wait. Oh, there's a blood trail. I forgot. Oh, that's the last page? Nice. I found the first and then the last. So, on your first quest, they set you up. Yeah, they set you up to get the first and the last page consecutively. Thoughtful. It's okay. I don't mind. Because I'm going to hear them all in order. Or I'm going to read them all in order at the end. Because I'm going to get a bound copy and I'm going to have a whole set. And I'm going to make them into a boxed set, right, of my recovered pages. Gryfflet's going to get a house. Just so that he can put his bound books in it. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't think Shelob would be very much competition for Sauron, but... yeah, and JJ points out that I'm not sure evil overlords have a good record when it comes to confronting spider demons, with which they have an uneasy working relationship. I agree. Oh, hey, look! I found some orc blood. Now, I probably don't have to actually inspect it, right? No, it doesn't even care. All right. Here's the orc blood. We're following the blood. Great. Okay. I'm hot on the trail. At this rate, I'm really not gonna finish the spider slaying deed, but I don't mind. Okay. Oh, this is quite a trail. Where are we going? Oh, just going south down this little branch. Okay. More orc blood all over the place. Is it up here? No. This way. Okay. Well, the suspense is killing me. More orc blood. I know I meant to be, like, killing dozens of spiders along the way here. So they probably didn't envision this quest as a, like, you're just walking for a really long time kind of quest. Instead, they were imagining this as a you're fighting your way for a really long time. But that is laborious and boring. So, ooh, hey, it's the Silent One. And, oh, are those spider eggs? Like a ginormous egg sack? Oops. This broodmother spotted me after, like, me standing under her for quite some time. Oh, she's a big one. I forgot to check. What level are these creatures? 110. Ooh, I'm 4 up. Already here. Hang on a second. What are these quests? Oh, this is... Oh, my book quest is 111. My pages quest. And so that suggests that over here in Lingris, that's going to be the maximum, right? 111? Yes. The Dreadlands is 112. Oh, yeah, no, that's the one that embraces them all. Okay. So 3-3, which is the next after Lingris, is 112. Okay. So I guess I can probably go to 115 then? Well, I'll keep an eye on it. I'll try to anyway. Oh, hey, where did the silent one go while I was fighting that spider? That was rude. He was right there. Oh, there he is. Many slain orcs have been laid at the foot of a massive cluster of spider eggs. Hi, silent one. Oh, I'm supposed to fight you. No chance. Okay. That's it. Now talk to Legolas. Okay. And this is what mithril coins were made for.
I cannot help but recall the darkness of Mirkwood here.
An orc has slain his own kin to offer tribute to the spiders of Lingris? These are very strange tidings, my friend. And the Uruk used the name Shelob. It seems Ungwatari is known by that name to the orcs. Oh, Ungwatari is the same as Shelob? How did I not ever know that? As for the Silent One, as for the Silent One, I wonder how he gained such a curious title. Such a name would be well earned of a skilled archer or huntsman. Ah, but these are orcs we speak of. Perhaps his tongue was cut from his mouth for some trifle. If he truly does mean to serve the spiders of Lingris, perhaps he can lead us to the lair of this Shelob. There is little time to consider such things, my friend. Okay, I thought Ungwatari and Shelob were separate.
I cannot help but recall the darkness of Mirkwood here.
As I feared, my father spoke true of Ungwatari's children. If her spiders come now to the gates of Durthang, they fear no counterstrike from Ugrikor or any others of the Gurzul. Even the deceptions of the enemy could not sway them into his service, and now that Sauron has fallen, nothing remains to restrain them from hunting their prey. I think it unwise to remain still in Lingris overlong, and so I believe we should travel into Rathkyle, and seek shelter amongst the Morgai. When you are ready, we will depart. Right, let's seek shelter among the Morgai. Whoa! Okay, hey, look! It's the milestone I was looking for. Gee, thanks, Legolas. Why do they bury this one? I don't remember seeing one buried, but here we go. Okay, so we're looking... Seriously, we teleported like 50 yards.
The jagged peaks of Lingris are steeped in fear and evil.
Ah, this will do. I suppose it is no worse than anywhere else in the hills of the Efelduath. Legolas peers into the distance, silently observing Rathkyle. This vale is swarming with foes, but I fear we must pass through it. Okay.
I do not like the look of this place, my friend.
Be still. Down in the vale, I see a few gatherings of orcs positioned beside the road. Trackers of some kind, I believe. We shall have to move more carefully from here onward. What do they search for, I wonder? They must realize it is too late to secure the enemy's ring. Ah, but it seems they are more interested in talking than keeping to their posts. I see gatherings of orcs, by what I believed to be a watchtower, by an orc hold of some kind, and another gathering of them beside the road in the vale. Will you eavesdrop on them, my friend? We might learn more of what has happened in Lingris since the enemy's downfall. I shall keep watch here and stop any other orcs from approaching you. Okay, so there are 3 gatherings of orcs, by a watchtower, by an orc hold, and beside the road. And I've got to go eavesdrop. Okay, hey, that's a burglarious quest. Happy to do it. I had vague memories of hearing of the Silent One, but I couldn't remember where it was. So Phil tells me, on the quest in the wastes with the rangers, when you burned herbs to make a nasty smell, one of the orcs thought it was a trick by the Silent One. Ah. Was this like Spook the Superstitious Orcs, that quest series? When I was like going around saying boo to orcs and all that sort of thing? Okay. So not one of the Gorgio. He's a famous orc called the Silent One. All right. So I'm eavesdropping on orcs, and you know, I have to say, I've kept expecting to encounter like a huge slew of random quests, but this has been very focused, unusually focused so far. It's almost like they suspect people aren't going to want to hang out here for very long. Oh, no. Okay, it wasn't then. It was when I snuck into Narcos with Mincham and Fyron. Right. Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay. Sure. All right. Just enjoying the scenery. It would be easier to enjoy if a spider weren't literally standing above me at the moment. Okay, all right. So wait, there's orcs to eavesdrop on somewhere nearby here. Did someone eat them or something? Oh no, they're still south of here. Where are they? Uh-oh. The carrion fly with a quest ring. That can't be good. Okay, wait. Hang on. So there's a carrion fly over here. But there's a ravening... Oh, there's the orcs. There's a ravening carrion fly over here. So have some of the carrion flies gone insane? And those that are ravening? I know, that's raving, not ravening. Still, it's kind of funny. Just imagining a fly going mad and running off into the wilderness like Lancelot. As you explore Rathkyle, you have encountered a number of ravening carrion flies. Yes, a number, which is 2, but that's good. It's still a number. Unlike the more docile ones you have encountered near the foetid pools of Lincaris, these are seemingly content to prey on the living as well as the dead. You should defeat many of the ravening carrion flies and make clear the way through Rathkyle. They're a threat to everybody. It's like, when a tiger becomes a man-eater, right? I mean, it's... I've just got to go to put down all of these. Okay, that's right. Here we go. I'm listening. Oh, I should actually listen. I said, listen. Should I listen, to them? There we go. The tower's got us looking for an elf warrior, but Lugvarg's found something interesting. Yeah, there was a great elf warrior who came through here. Some queer little pots, they said. Maybe they belong to the one Shagrat let out. They found the pots! No way! We're gonna rescue Sam's pans! Oh, yes. let's get to the bottom of this. Oh yeah, that is just like the Lotro devs all over, isn't it? You had to know that we were gonna go on a Sam's Pan recovery quest in Mordor, right? I mean, seriously. What's Lotro for if we can't rescue Sam's Pants? Yeah, it's one of the things that Lotro has specialized in, and that is like relics of the passage of the company, right? Oh, seriously? Ungol stone shell? Oh boy, Grodbog Slayer of Lingris. That sounds like a charming deed to pursue night and day. Okay. We got. Oh, here we go. Orc trackers, hushed voices. Okay. The silent one's gone missing, and I don't like it. Little sneak was at Kala Murugtil a few days ago, but he's gone now. Yeah, but what about the pots? Let's talk about something important. Oh, man. Hope I get to return Sam's pans to him. Alright, hang on. Back to the road. Oh, oops. Hang on. Back to the road here. Oh, there they are. As if Lingris couldn't get any worse, Gluprong says Kalamurg's in a real mess. They got some disease in the orc hold that eats them from the inside out. Nasty. Talk to Legolas. Okay, but I'll tell you what. I'm going to walk north. I know that's not north. I'm going to walk north because I need to hunt for ravening carrion flies on my way. Yeah. So, here we go. Oh, no, that's a regular cat. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Found a little nest of them. But you've got to separate, the sheep from the goats here. You can't just go killing random carrion flies. Oh, no, that's a mole rat. Assuming that they're... Oh, see, look, he ravens. Okay. Okay, there was another one over here, wasn't there? It's okay, little carrion fly. You can be free again. I like to think I'm liberating the other carrion flies from their ravening oppressors. All right. How many was that? That was 5. That mole rat was collateral damage. It happens sometimes. I can't promise that no mole rats are going to be harmed in the course of my ravening. I think really I was putting it out of its misery because I think that, fly was ravening on it. So, it's... Uh-oh. Oh, when I get spotted wandering around here, it's rather grim. Okay. So wait, what did I find? Strongholds of the Etheldua. I've discovered Lugvarg. Have I? Oh, look at it. Yeah. There's Lugvarg, apparently. Gryfflet spots his prey. I still need 3 of them. Okay. So here's what I think. I said earlier that I wanted to come back to talking about an interesting adaptation choice. The interesting adaptation choice is what they're doing with Shelob here. Legolas obviously is a little bit Shelob obsessed, right? Giant spiders have been, one of the Lotro developers' favorite mobs ever since, they improbably brought them into the Shire through the through the mines or through the quarry, right? Oh, look, right there. So yeah, like they've always loved giant spiders as mobs, and now, of course, like they have one of their 2. Unlock it, huh? Is it going to be better than the Cup of Sacrifice? Ooh, kinda, a little bit. Yeah. All right, that was a profitable pursuit, and I can just teleport to Legolas from here. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that. And the reason I'm not going to do that is that I need to get a little bit more familiar with the territory here so that I know where I'm going. Let me come, carry on. Let's ride. And fortunately, let's put on the hat that confuses even spiders and benevolent carrion flies. Yeah, Shelob. So given their observable delight in giant spiders as enemies, it is certainly hardly surprising to find that the developers are really sort of leaning into the Shelob situation, even though obviously in the text there's no evidence of any kind that Shelob has offspring which are in the terrain around her, right? Does she have offspring? Yes. She did the offspring thing, and they're in Mirkwood. He says the spiders of Mirkwood are her offspring. He doesn't say that she's carried on having offspring, and that the Morgai is full of them. That would have been noticed, presumably, by Sam and Frodo when they walked up here. It's an interesting thing. Like, here you can see two desires of the game kind of in conflict with each other here in Lingris, right? On the one hand, there's the desire that I talked about before of giving us the experience of the book. And so that would seem to lead them to want to describe this area as exactly, similarly, as it's described in the book as possible, right? Again, this very stretch of land is part of the story in The Lord of the Rings. But the game also shows a desire to give us, like gruesome enemies to fight, and sometimes starkly horrible landscapes to explore and to quest among and to purge. And the opportunity to have lots of, as they say, they pulled in giant spiders when there was very little excuse for it at various points in the game. Giant spiders are endemic to Middle-earth, right? In the game, in ways which are just not justifiable from the books. And here, in proximity to Shelob, in proximity to the veritable wellspring of giant spiders in modern-day Middle-earth, how could they turn down the opportunity to make it, a spider wilderness, little paradise of spiders, gruesome horror paradise of spiders. So when given that choice, they choose the spiders. And by doing so, are taking the opportunity through Legolas and Thranduil and the bit that they inserted into the Battle of the Last Alliance prologue sequence, which I feel like I should do again, because I did it only once, basically, so I feel like I need to redo it for the same reason that I like to reread books. But anyway, so what they're doing is they're providing this whole other, like, historical and mythic perspective on Shelob. And it's interesting because, of course, there are very few, like, large and mythic things in Middle-earth that we don't get the elvish angle on, right? The elves write most of the stories, right? And they name most of the things. There is some kind of elvish transmission involved in most of the great creatures and things both good and evil of the ancient days. And yet in The Lord of the Rings, Frodo and Sam's encounter with Shelob is not filtered through elvish stories or elvish names at all. There's elf stuff involved, right? Like we hear from the narrator that Shelob has encountered the elves before. But again, the Hobbit's experience is not, they don't get, and therefore we don't get any elf legend, elf name, elf awareness of Shelob, right? So so having Legolas be our mediator on this quest is a fascinating choice for that reason. Because now they are, in a sense, they're kind of placing, the game developers, are sort of placing Shelob within the elvish world of Middle-earth in ways that Tolkien never did, which is cool. That's really fun. All right, Legolas.
What little light remains here is smothered by webs.
Ha! An elf warrior? I think the orcs may have misjudged Master Samwise. Although, from the sound of it, the orcs of Lugvarg may have found some of our friends' belongings left behind from when they passed through Mordor. It is curious that the orcs of this Cala Morg are unaware of the Silent One's treachery. They think him missing? I suppose they cannot spare much thought for him while a strange disease is spreading through the Orkhold. The disease must be a potent one.
The jagged peaks of Hlingris are steeped in fear and evil.
Gryfflet, what did you hear of Cala Morg? You tell Legolas about the disease ravaging Cala Morg and the orc tracker Glupronk that was mentioned by the orcs. This Glupronk must lead the orc trackers in their search for the elf warrior. It is likely he knows many of the hidden paths of Hlingris, and his knowledge may be useful in our search. Travel to Cala Morg and seek the orc Glupronk. If he bears any orders, take them and we shall see what can be learned of them. Have you taken the correspondence course, Legolas? Be careful, Gryfflet. We know little of the disease that has taken the orcs. Right, and is it communicable? I hear you. Okay, so what do you bet that the Glupronk in question is the same tracker orc who killed the other orc, like whose conversation Sam overhears in the Morgai? Right? Almost certain, right? Like a 95% chance that Glupronk is going to turn out to be the one who gets lines in The Lord of the Rings? That's kind of what I think. Oh, hang on. Legolas has more quests for me. I should probably take notice of that sort of thing.
What little light remains here is smothered by webs.
It's a good thing I didn't miss this one. So the orcs at Lugvarg have found a queer set of pots. I wonder if these aren't the very pots that Master Samwise carried with him. If the orcs of Lugvarg have truly found Frodo and Sam's belongings, we would do well to reclaim them. Gryfflet, travel to Lugvarg and see what the orcs have found. I accept that quest eagerly. Okay, so one issue. It's a bit of a quibble. But I don't think it was here. Am I misremembering? Because it would be strange for them to, I was going to say make a mistake. That's maybe not even fair. Sorry, what I'm remembering, if I'm remembering from the text correctly, the throwing away of the pots and pans and other belongings happens not in the Morgai on the pathway up, but after they leave the orcs. I mean, it definitely happened after they left the orcs, which means it would have happened in Dora Marth, not over here. How did the pots and pans get over here? Yes, Phil was just thinking exactly the same thing. I thought Frodo dumped his Sam dumped his pans down a hole on the final approach to Mount Doom. Yeah, he did. After they turned south towards Mount Doom. That's my memory of when it happens in the books as well. I guess now, like, they could have been transported back over here. It isn't necessarily a mistake. And also, I can understand how the impulse to kind of collect together all of the, like, memories of Frodo and Sam in this valley, right? But technically, all right, come carry on. All right. let's see if we have to liberate any other species. Here. That was a good corner there, Carrion. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to Kalamurg. Finding and confronting Glupronk. And I'm recovering Sam's pans. Okay. So, best for last. Let's do tracking the enemy first. I'm trying to decide whether to go right or left here. I'm going to go right. I'm also going to dismount. Not right next to that dude. What is that skill? Focused strikes? Is that new? Has that always been there? What's this? Journey to Bar Thorenian? Oh, that's the Allegiance Hall! What is this? Double-edged strike and flashing blades become single target skills. So that's Knives Out. I never pay attention to what the skills are actually called. Double-edged strike and flashing blades, huh? Do I even have those? Oh, that's flashing blades. Oh, my crit skills. Okay, gotcha. So what is this, like a mode? Yeah, it is. Interesting. So I can turn this mode on. Oh, well, I never used that, so let me put it here. Okay, so when I'm fighting like a single boss, I should put that mode on, and then my crit skills will do more damage against them. Okay. I think that's new. I've never noticed that before. But I'm fairly oblivious. I can go a long time without noticing things. It's a special skill of mine. Just ask my wife. Anyway, okay. Here we go. What is this? You think it's a racial deed thing? Did it did it get unlocked with the Alliance thing? The deed I completed that I still don't know which one it was? For the Alliance rep or whatever it was I was getting? Ah. Well, somebody went to all the trouble of making that, like, spiked gateway. Look at the buzzing flies that are surrounding me. Oh, that is so Mordor. Again, see, same experience. Whoa, that spider is on a tilt-a-whirl over there, and it's going to make me, like, seasick just looking at him. Yeah. A hollowing orc? Oh, like he's being hollowed out? I cannot see. My damned eyes have gone. Is that you, Glupronk? The orc sniffs frantically at the air around him. Ah, you don't have his scent. I'm hollowing. There's no way out of that. I'll be like the Javar High soon. They're hollow? And I don't want that. No orc should want that. Old Shelob's let her children crawl around within us and feast on our insides. Oh, that's disturbing. Some live, some don't. But all of them are carrying around who knows what in their guts. I think the dead ones are lucky if you ask me. You're probably pretty fond of orc slaying, stranger, so if you see any like me, make sure you do them in. Yuck. The orc spits vaguely in your direction and then draws a knife and stabs his own throat. Mercifully defeat Hollowing Orcs. Whoa. That's hardcore. So he thinks it's a spider infection, which seems perfectly plausible. A web-covered page. Distasteful rations! There are all sorts of things that I can apparently interact with here. Clusters of spider eggs. Distasteful rations. Okay. Tell me about the spider eggs. Within the shadowed corners of Calamorg, you have discovered clusters of spider eggs that twitch and ooze with a new brood of spiders. The orcs of Calamorg appear to have destroyed every egg they found, but these have gone unnoticed and were laid more recently. You should destroy the remaining clusters of eggs in the hope that it will prevent more of the orcs from hollowing and becoming more dangerous foes. Well, they clearly become more miserable. I'm not sure they become more dangerous, do they? Again, is it communicable? How horrible. Well, Gryfflet is very well placed, I would say, to mercifully slay Hollowing Orcs. Can you turn around, please? Well, there you go. Appreciate it. All right. Might as well open the rusty small chest while I'm here. Now, this is the one that populates here, right? Yeah, Gorgoroth crafting bundle. Do I have to open it? No? Okay. All right. Watching the time, making sure I'm not losing track of it. So now I have the new brood quest. I have to get the distasteful rations quest. Excuse me, Hollowing Orc. Could you turn around? Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm so glad you guys taught me how to use that skill. That tracker is really bad at his job. A meal unfit for an orc. While exploring Calamorg, you have discovered disgusting rations kept in crates by the orcs. The crates ooze with maggots and what seems to be spider venom or blood. Even by orcish standards, this seems an undesirable meal. You should burn crates of rations and ensure they are not the cause of the hollowing. So, Gryfflet is here in Calamorg fundamentally on some kind of medical mission? Basically? If you improve sanitary conditions here in this camp, you won't have nearly so many problems with... Alright, well now we have to go stand next to this tracker and fight. Okay, see here I don't want to hit that mode because I like doing damage to multiples. Okay. There's another cluster of spider eggs, and then, ta-da! Web-covered page.
Indeed, through his wisdom, she became the guardian of the western pass into Mordor. In return, he sent her his prisoners and lesser orcs to feast on.
It's the whole book of Shelob. Yep, this is the whole camp of the trackers. I think I'm right about what's his face. Klopronker. What's his name? Glupronk. who probably gleams in the gloom. GL being one of those consonantal combinations that Tolkien almost never doesn't alliterate. If you see him use a word starting with GL, you will almost certainly find another. Oh, I guess I might as well just get this small rusty chest while I'm here. I always have to get the things from the pending loot right away, or I'll forget about them. Okay. Disgusting rations over here. Oh, sure. Now it aggroes with all those guys? Come on now. There's no need for this. Alright. I'm burning disgusting rations. Sorry, distasteful rations. I'm squishing spider eggs. And how many hollowing orcs? I'm 4 out of 8. Okay. All right. Well, while I continue in here, let me see for a second here if I can find another question. The lore question. Ah, here's a Legolas one. Yeah, this is from Drowsnake last week. All right. When Legolas hears the gulls and sees the sea for the first time at Pelargir, his heart shall rest in the forest no more, as he says. He knows he must sail across the sea one day. If he had stayed inland his whole life, would he have never desired to see Valinor and to cross the sea to Valinor and been content to stay in Middle-earth forever? Is this true for all Morroquendi? Okay. So on the one hand, he does kind of seem to imply that. He seems to imply that if he, like now that he's seen the sea, right? And there was even that sort of prediction, right? That if he heard the sound of the gulls, then he would, then he'd be done for, right? It would do for him. But certainly, okay. So what's going on there? It seems a little bit silly to say, like, well, if he had just remained inland his whole life, he'd have been fine. What more of what he says in that scene is that it is perilous to stir up the sea longing in any of his folk. And one of the implications there is that the sea longing is always there lurking under the surface, right? It's easy to stir it up. And so the sight of the sea and the sound of the gulls has done that for him, right? So again, I certainly don't think that what he's implying is that the sea longing is sort of this kind of external spell of some kind that's cast upon him, right? Which he would have avoided had he just not seen the sea, right? So like he would have been proof against the the intrusion upon him of this spell. Again, because that's not the way it's. He himself says that the sea longing is part of the elf condition, And that being the case, he was always at risk, and was almost certainly going to give into it sooner or later. But seeing the sea itself and hearing the gulls has clearly accelerated the process. While the orcs remain foes of the free peoples of Middle-earth, you have shown great mercy in sparing the orcs of Kalamurg a vile fate. Yeah, pretty vile. So yes, it's clearly in Legolas's case, like a more rapid onset of the. I've got to mercy kill this guy anyway. Well, let me just perform an experiment. Does he aggro on me if I do this? He doesn't. Okay, then I can leave you in peace. Yeah, so clearly his sea longing comes upon him more swiftly than it would have done. But it clearly would have done. Okay. And as far as the question, is it true for all Morroquendi? Yeah, for all elves. So, there's a... Oh, I see, right, they are being opened when I pick them up. That's cool. The sea longing of the elves is interesting. It's interesting because now I'm just collecting small rusty chests on principle as I'm going through and sweeping this camp. What can I say? I'm a burglar. The history of the sea longing of the elves is interesting. Because, so why do the elves have sea longing? Is it part of their original programming? I mean, that is to say, to put that in Tolkien's terms, is that desire of their hearts something that we've come to the spidery part of this camp. Sorry, I'm like reading my quest text instead of fighting this spider. I've done well to destroy many clusters of eggs in Kalamurg, preventing the remaining orcs from succumbing to the hollowing. I still don't understand how they're more dangerous, but... Did I miss a disgusting thing over here? Or a distasteful thing? I think the red... it's orange, right? Okay, yeah, it's below me here. And the purple. Okay. Walking back towards the orcs here. And yeah. Looks like I've missed a disgusting meal or two. Oh. I missed this tunnel. Maybe I should go in there. Oh, here we go. Distasteful, not disgusting. More distasteful rations. Here we go. And this is probably going to be where Gryfflet is. You have burned many of the crates of distasteful rations. Although it remains unclear if those rations led to the hollowing, it seemed a good course. I agree. For the sake of public health, it's only prudent. Find and confront Gryfflet, I think, is where we are now. He's probably in here somewhere. What's that? Somebody's skeleton. A bile-covered bow. Do I want that? Or... Oh, yeah, I do. Who are you? Oh, you've been hollowed. Will I ever get a chance to... Hang on, wait, I'm going to turn on that mode. Yeah. Now my attacks will do more damage against you. Well, at least those ones. Which I use all the time, though I didn't know their names. Well, now I'm never going to find out whether this dude was... Pull a damp missive off him? That has got to be unhygienic. Like, nasty. Read it. Okay. Orders from Cirith Ungol. You are going to find the elf warrior, or the high-up is going to hear about it. No excuses this time. Shagrat claims the last garrison tore itself apart over a trinket, but I don't believe it. Nothing's worth that much. Even if Shagrat was telling the truth. That elf warrior stuck a pin into Shelob, and we haven't seen her ladyship since. We cannot allow the Hollowed to impede the search. Kill them and burn what's left of your stores, and then send your trackers to hunt Sulokil in Doramarth. Oh, they're getting the meats? I already got the meats. Norn's not sending more for a week, so sort it out. One last thing. If the Silent One passes through Kalamorg, send him back to Cirith Ungol. I have need of his skills. Your obedient servant, Captain Roglarg. Okay. Okay. Red missive covered with orc effluvia. Okay. The missive warns of an orc warrior that slew the garrison of Cirith Ungol and stuck Shelob. Yeah, well, you gotta watch out for him. Everybody knows how dangerous that particular elf warrior is. Okay. So that's it. I'm a teensy bit disappointed that, like, the hollowing thing is gruesome and whatnot, but I no longer seem to have any cause to go into the north. Am I going to get quests to go up into the spidery region of Kalamorg up here? Is there anything of interest up here? Or... Also, what happened to my floaty names? Okay.
I see. Look, it's another giant spider egg cluster with orcs presented around it. So if we do come up here, though we strictly speaking didn't need to, we will find evidence of the Silent One carrying on still his same perfidious game. Okay. But I am not going to stop at every small rusty chest I see because I have willpower. All right, though. Well, that one's just sitting there all by itself, right? Doesn't take much just to stop and say hi to that one. Might as well. Okay. Very good. Now I just have to go across the way. Oh no, I'm running out of time to find Sam's pans. Sorry, what I was saying that I was just a touch disappointed by is the fact that we didn't... If that was the guy that I suspect... The Glooprunk was the guy I suspected him of being, then there's like a character from the Lord of the Rings we didn't get to meet. Sounds like Shagrat's still around, though. We gonna get to meet him? So all right, let's see what's up with this Lugvarg sentry. While searching Lugvarg for the evidence the Road Watcher spoke of, you have discovered that Lugvarg guards a pass from the battlement of Mag Akshu in Dormarth. If the Free Peoples intend to stage a large incursion into Lingris in the coming days, the way must be made clear. All right, sentries and warriors, huh? All right, this is a whole other thing. I think I need to stop. Next time we shall go on into Lugvarg. Here. On this pass. Because this is the pass I almost went on, isn't it? Yeah, that's this one. Right. Yes. Right near where I found my last page. Last page in Dormarth. Okay. All right, so we'll stop here. We'll do Lugvarg next time. And hopefully find Sam's pans. Or perhaps tip off this whole enormously long quest line where I have to chase Sam's pans around Mordor. Either way, we'll see what happens. All right, so I will not be here next week because next week I am flying to Houston for Texmoot. Looking forward to Texmoot next week. That'll be fun. And then the 3 weeks after that, on the 26th, I will be in Europe again. I'll be going to Belgium, my first ever trip to Belgium, to go to Willowmoot. So we're having another European moot. Will be great. Will be great fun. So it is true, Druid's Fire. I shall certainly be eating barbecue next week. That'll be excellent all round. Good food and good company next week down at Texmoot. So, also I have to say, I look forward to the Tex-Mex almost as much because I don't get I don't get much good Mexican food up here in New England. Always look forward to it. Went out to an awesome street taco place in San Diego when I was out there for SoCalMoot, and I'm looking forward to some fun Tex-Mex and some excellent queso while I'm down in Houston. All right. Very good. So thanks everybody for joining me. So I won't be here next week, but I should be back the week after that. So I believe that I will only be away a fortnight, and then we shall return for Sam's Pans, and we're making some progress here through Lingris. I'm sure we're going to be through Lingris in no time at all. All right, very good. But of course, I still do have like 16 more web-covered pages to find, so that's what really matters. All right, thank you, everybody. I will see you guys soon. Take care, and stay tuned for Druid's Fire. Bye now.
Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.